Hi, good afternoon. Welcome. I'm chair of the Heritage Foundation of Newfoundland and Labrador, and I'm very pleased to be here today and see such a great turnout. And on this very first mini forum on Intangible Cultural Heritage. The foundation, the formalities, the foundation was formed in 1984 by an act of the House of Assembly. And our mandate is to protect, promote, and preserve the architectural heritage of the province. And I know from the audience that some people have been involved even this summer in property being plaqued, and we designate property. And of course, when we designate a property, it means that it will be listed in the Newfoundland directory and also in the Canadian directory. And since 2008, to come to today's meeting, the Foundation has been working on safeguarding and sustaining the intangible cultural heritage of the province for present and future generations. And this is being achieved through policies that support initiatives that celebrate, record, disseminate, and promote our living heritage and help to build bridges between diverse cultural groups within and outside Newfoundland and Labrador. I thought this might be an appropriate time to share a little anecdote with you, and at least one person here I've already shared by email. I'm from Grand Bank, and some of you probably knew that already from my accent, and we have a real problem in Grand Bank with H's. We're really tone deaf. We don't hear them at all. And a friend of mine, when he went to Memorial University, told me, and this was before the word processors, that he used to read through any presentation he had and remove any word that began with H. So he wouldn't make that mistake. But that wasn't what I was going to tell you. I don't know how many of you, I know some of you, know about, and I'll call them what we call them in Grand Bank, arses farts. And when I grew up, as a child, 10 years old or so, we used to have a bit of fun with them because we would throw them at the girls and things like that. But my aunt and uncle were very much into folk remedies. My uncle was 86 when he died, and the night that he died, he went to the hospital and with his daughter-in-law, and the nurse came out a couple times to see if he had a middle name and so on. And he said no, and she said, well, I don't have any record. And he said, no, that's because this was the first time I've seen a doctor. So he was 86, first time he saw a doctor was the night he died. But that didn't mean they didn't have medicine. And one of the things they had always was arses fart. And she used, and it may, always had some dried and kept it in the cupboard. Anyway, she was about 90, I guess, and she fell and cut herself, a fairly deep cut. And of course, what she did was get out the arses fart and sprinkled it on the cut, and it stopped the bleeding almost immediately. But it's kind of messy, with this dark brownish stuff on this cut. So her daughter-in-law came in and insisted that she go to see the doctor. And of course, we get a lot of foreign-trained doctors who speak very formal English, but don't understand all the other stuff that we say. So he asked her, he was a little bit perturbed what this mess was, and so he said to her, what is that you have on yourself? And she said, arses fart. And he asked her 2 or 3 times, and she didn't know anything else to tell him, other than, since, you know, arses fart. And he was becoming more and more frustrated, so he went to Dr. Paul, who was from Bonavista, and asked him for a translation. And of course, Dr. Paul told him what it was, that it was a dry mushroom. And she told him immediately he changed his tone because he realized that there were properties in this that would stop the bleeding and was helpful and so on. So that's my story from Rembrandt. And I know that Dale has gathered many stories, because he's a great storyteller. I followed him a couple of months ago on his vacation, but it was a storytelling quest, and I'm sure some of you have done too. Dale has done great work with the Intangible Cultural Heritage part of our mandate, the university, and we'd like to thank them today as being partners, and the community at large. And also been great partners, and I see some people here that I recognize from some communities. So have a great day, and I'll turn it over to Dale, who's going to be your moderator today. Thanks.
So it's a great pleasure for me here today, because I don't have to give a presentation. I give for a change. It's very nice, I know, yes. We have been working with Intangible Cultural Heritage programs in the province now since 2008. Well, a little bit longer than that, I guess. I know Jerry Poshis is in the back row. Jerry's been working on this stuff for much, much longer. This is the 10th anniversary of the UNESCO Charter on Intangible Cultural Heritage. I know Jerry was involved in the very early days of that charter, going to Rio to help draft that document. And the work of the Heritage Foundation is being recognized internationally for the work that we're doing here in the province. But I think just to add to something that Frank said, it's not just something that we're doing at the Heritage Foundation. And one of the great things for us has been to see kind of the work of ICH spread out into the community. And there's lots and lots of things happening that involve the Heritage Foundation, our partners, and towns, and even private individuals who are doing all kinds of work with oral history and folklore and intangible cultural heritage. So today is really a chance for us to kind of give a show and tell, and to give you some examples of the projects that are happening locally in other parts of the province. Today's going to kind of be broken up into 3 sections. So the first section is the Heritage Foundation. The Heritage Foundation of Newfoundland and Labrador at work. And so we'll have some presentations from our staff. And then we're going to shift to kind of Memorial University and the community, and we'll have some presentations from some of the students that are doing work through the Department of Folklore and Archaeology. And then we'll take a little break, and then we're going to have kind of a broader category that we're calling Sharing Stories and Culture with people from outside the university who are doing work.